Welcome to Variety Award Circuit. I'm Clayton Davis.
And I'm Janelle Riley.
Oscar voting is now officially open, and we are giving our semi-final predictions and final pleas for some of our favorite films of the year.
I can't believe it's finally here. This has felt like a very long season. I'm not saying that as a complaint.
Yeah.
It's just, it's been a long time.
Yep, for 6 days, Oscar voters are considering. So let's start with Best Picture. We are in agreement on quite a few films here. We should expect to see Belfast, Power of the Dog, Coda, King Richard, Dune, West Side Story, Nightmare Alley, Licorice Pizza. There are 10 available spots, at least 3 spots open.
And I feel very strongly that Don't Look Up is going to make that cut. What do you think?
I think Tragedy of Macbeth also feels good for a nomination. It feels semi-safe. And then we have something like, Spider-Man that people have been talking about. I'm of the mind that I think No Time to Die is going to be that blockbuster choice.
Right, I saw you moved it into your top 10.
Final James Bond, it's going to do well at BAFTA. It might be the one.
I'm also a big fan of Tick, Tick, Boom, and I would love to see that sneak into the Best Picture race. I don't think it's too crazy to think that that could happen. Same with Being the Ricardos. Yeah. Another one that seems to be doing very well. And then obviously House of Gucci had a very strong showing at the SAG Award nominations. Could break into the top 10. Critical fave, Drive My Car, picking up awards left and right from critics. Few unknowns in those last few slots.
Yeah, my final plea there is going to be for Come On, Come On, Mike Mills' film. It's a beautiful black and white film with Joaquin Phoenix. I don't think it's going to get any love, but I've been surprised before. But director is another hot race. Director
is really exciting because I saw that you put Sean Hayter into your top 5, which I have been hoping for all season. Writer-director of Coda. The people who we both agree on our locks are Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, and Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Probably also Denis Villeneuve for Dune. Seems to be hitting all the precursors, even though there can be like a little bias against sci-fi. But I love that you put Sean in this top 5 because more and more people are seeing Coda and are realizing how wonderful it is and what an amazing job.
Coda is just soaring right now.
It is. I don't know what happened.
I think it's going to win Cast Ensemble. That movie's going to be dangerous. I think we need to start looking at that as like a real spoiler in
I
this
absolutely
race.
think it is a threat for Best Picture.
Yeah, and then other names, the director from Drive My Car.
Say it.
I don't want to mutilate. People are going to get mad at me. Yeah. But Drive My Car is going to be very competitive in a few races. But also Joel Coen, because he's a Coen brother, he's always going to be.
And it's a beautiful looking movie. It is very much a director's medium, that particular film. I would also advise people to never count out Adam McKay. He is beloved in this industry. People have seen Don't Look Up. He surprised people by getting that nomination for Vice, which I always thought he would land in there, but I know some people were surprised. So don't be surprised if he gets in there for Don't Look Up.
Yeah, people also love Guillermo del Toro for Nightmare Alley, and he could make some noise, even though it had a weaker BAFTA showing. And who can forget the legend, Steven Spielberg, for West Side Story. Probably a default name that people are going to check off.
But should be on this list because he did an amazing job, and it's weird that he's not, a front runner in our minds.
Yeah, maybe he sits out. Or maybe
Steven Spielberg is overdue, is what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But at the helm of his picture is Rachel Zegler. Nice transition into lead actress now. She is young, and she's one of the big breakouts of the year. But the sure things look to be Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, and Lady Gaga for House of Gucci. Even though she was feeling weaker in the last few weeks.
Only to you.
As we all saw Amy Adams miss for Arrival, there's always those big misses, which brings us to Kristen Stewart, who missed SAG in a shocker.
Pretty shocking.
And I think enough of the actors branch will seek it out to watch it, because again, SAG is 2,500 random people, as opposed to the Academy's actors branch, that's the largest. She could still get into the fray, but
I feel pretty strongly she's still going to make the cut. There's a lot of love for her, and people who do see that performance really seem to respond to it. The question is, the other 2 actresses who made it into the SAG voting were Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye and Jennifer Hudson for Respect. You also have people like Alana Hayam, another newcomer making her film debut, Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz is dangerous because for Parallel Mothers, even though it didn't make the BAFTA long list, She's won some pretty big critics prizes, including National Society of Film Critics. She's a former Oscar winner, and so many voters have told me that that's their favorite Pedro Almodovar film.
It's a great movie.
And I think that could have a late surge and she could surprise, but we'll keep an eye out for her. Now looking at lead actor.
Oh, lead actor. So I think we can agree that there are 3 locks in this category, which is Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Will Smith for King Richard, and Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. The question is, what will those other 2 spots be? We have SAG nominees, Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Who I feel great about. I think he feels really secure for his nom. He was on the cover of Variety. Not saying that definitely made it for him, but it helped a lot. But he's also just fantastic in the film. It's a Coen Brothers film. We know they're watching it.
And he's Denzel.
And he's Denzel.
Like, he's amazing. And Javier Bardem, who made the cut for being the Ricardos.
Javier Bardem. It could be Nicolas Cage for Pig.
Getting a lot of momentum, by the way, right now.
Could it be someone like Golden Globe nominee Mahershala Ali for Swan Song? Could it be just someone completely left field like Bradley Cooper in Nightmare Alley, who I think it's the second best performance he's ever done in his career.
He is fantastic. I also want to throw out Peter Dinklage in Cyrano, which people are just now sort of getting to see. And of course, Leonardo DiCaprio in Don't Look Up, playing against type. But you mentioned Bradley, and that is a fantastic performance, but I've made no secret that my favorite performance of his is in Licorice Pizza. And yes, it is a limited amount of screen time, but I think we can all agree that it's quality
a supporting
over quantity.
performance.
It is a supporting
that's what
performance.
happens.
He's so wonderful in Licorice Pizza, but it's a tough category.
Yeah, so Bradley Cooper, I feel like he may have gotten himself into the race, especially after that SAG nomination. Cody Smith-McPhee, critical leader. He looks to be very dangerous if he wins second youngest ever in that category at 25.
Behind Timothy Hutton?
Behind Timothy Hutton for Ordinary People. And then we have Troy Kotsur for Coda. Again, Coda picking up momentum. And that leaves some spots open. Both Belfast boys missed, Jamie Dornan and Kieran Hines. I think one of them is going to end up making it. Right now, I'm just putting my money on Kieran Hines. But Ben Affleck has made both Globe and SAG for The Tender Bar.
Great performance.
But now supporting actress, the most competitive. Go with it.
It is insane how many amazing performances are probably not going to make the cut because there's just so many. The 3 people we feel are pretty much locks in this category are Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Katrina Balfe for Belfast, and Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
And then you have the wonderful Ruth Negga, who just seems to be getting more and more momentum for her work in Passing. She got the SAG Award nomination. Cate Blanchett made the SAG cut for Nightmare Alley, the only nomination for Nightmare Alley.
And then that leaves a few other spots open for Anjanou Ellis.
I'm willing all my energy into that Anjanou nomination to happen. She's so wonderful.
And last, ending this all out, is animated feature. Encanto is on the music charts, dominating with We Don't Talk About Bruno, although that song was not submitted for the Academy.
But crazy to me.
But you know what? Hindsight's 2020. But what we have here now is Encanto, The Mitchells versus the Machines, Luca, Raya and the Last Dragon, and Flea, which could be in documentary and international feature. Those 5 feel solid. I think Encanto is the one to beat right now. And listen, all these, like I said, semifinal. We don't know what's going to happen, but make sure you go to Variety.com and to the award circuit tab where you can find all the predictions in key races. And make sure to listen to our podcast where we talk about this ad nauseum. For Award Circuit, I'm Clayton Davis.
And I'm Janelle Riley.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.